The SenseTechnic MQTT service provides Fred users with an easy-to-use, cloud-based MQTT broker. With SenseTechnic MQTT, Fred users can make use of MQTT in their cloud-hosted Node-RED flows with just a few clicks. In order to make use of the service, you must first be a paid Fred user. First, you need to register a Fred account, if you haven't already done so. Then, you'll need to upgrade your subscription to a paid plan, either the Fred Tall or Grande plans. You can do this during the registration process, or after you have activated and logged into the STS-MQTT service. Now for this demo, we'll also be setting up an MQTT connection on a Raspberry Pi. If you don't have one handy, that's alright. You can simulate one using your Fred instance, or by running Node-RED on your desktop PC. Now in order to connect to the MQTT service, you'll need to create MQTT clients for each connection. Let's go to the Clients tab. You can view your existing clients in this tab. We'll start by making a new client. Client IDs are unique across the MQTT service. The convention is to start the client ID with your account name. In this case, our client ID starts with MQTT demo. We also need to enter the name for this client so we can recognize it easily on the service. Each client is generated with a random string as its client key. You can use this key or you can enter your own. However, you'll need to mark down this client key as it will not be shown again. If you forget your client key, no problem, you'll just need to reset it and generate a new one. Now once you've added the client, you'll see it on the list. You can click the Edit button to edit the name, client ID, and the client key. Or you can click the Delete button to delete the client. You can also click the View Style button beside the search bar to switch between a list view or the cards view to show existing clients. Now let's create a topic. By adding topics using the service, you can track and monitor interesting topics used by your flows on the console and make the topic public for access by other MQTT users. So we click on the Topics tab. It looks like the Clients tab where you can see topics in a list view or a card view. We'll start by creating a topic. All topics start with users MQTT demo. That's your username. After this prefix, you can set the topic path to anything you like. You also need to enter a topic name so you can easily recognize it in the list of topics in the management console here. The isPrivate flag is an important feature of topic management on the service. When a topic's private, only the topic owners have permission to publish their own topics. Other account holders can view and subscribe to public topics. You can make a topic public by unchecking the isPrivate checkbox. By default, it's set to true, in which only the topic owner can view and subscribe to this topic. If it's set to false, the topic's public, and all MQTT users will be able to subscribe to this topic and see this topic in the topics gallery. And here we'll just create a topic called Users MQTT Demo Test. Now we're ready to connect to the service from Fred. Let's head over to the Fred system to do that from Node-RED. We've made an MQTT client node that simplifies the process of connecting to the SenseTechnic MQTT broker. You can find this node named STS-MQTT in the Add or Remove Nodes area. Now to start a new connection, we need to add the new STS-MQTT broker configuration. To do so, we drag the STS-MQTT out node on the editor and double-click on the node. We then choose to add new STS-MQTT broker. In here, the minimum requirements are to set up a broker, to add your enter name, your client ID, and the client key. The client ID and the client key are the ones that we just created on the service earlier. Once you've added this information, you'll need to enter the topic. And here, let's enter the topic that we made. Users/MQTT_demo/test. Now we'll also set up an inject node to inject a string hello world to this MQTT node. And then once we deploy, you should see its status as connected. Now let's monitor the messages sent from Fred on the STS-MQTT console. We'll head back to the service and go to the Dashboard tab. The dashboard has a quick tool to monitor message flow on the service. Let's subscribe to the topic that we're publishing to. And now let's publish a message from Fred. And we see the message show up in the dashboard, so we know the message was sent successfully. Now let's create a client for the Raspberry Pi. In general, each MQTT client corresponds to a single connection to a broker. If you need a Fred instance and your Raspberry Pi connected to your service simultaneously, you'll need to create two clients. Let's create a client for the Pi. And we'll also set up a topic to show this example. Let's make a new topic. Now we are ready to show you how to connect your Raspberry Pi to the SenseTechnic MQTT service. Since we've already set up Node-RED on our Pi, we can just SSH into the Pi and start running Node-RED. Connecting from your Pi to the SenseTechnic MQTT service is similar to how you set it up on your Fred instance. You can install the STS-MQTT node modules on your Pi. Or you can use the default Node-RED MQTT node. We'll show you how to connect using the default MQTT node with the client that we just created. We'll use an MQTT out node connecting to the same topic. In here, we'll fill in the MQTT client credentials, just like we did on Fred. We'll be using the Pi topic that we just created for this example. We also connect the MQTT node to an inject node that will send a string message that says hello from the Pi. Once deployed, you should see it showing as connected. If you click the inject button now, you should also see the message that shows up on this topic message window in the service management interface. Now we want to be able to subscribe to the message on Fred. We can do that by using the STS-MQTT in node and use the same broker we added earlier. We'll also need to set up the STS-MQTT in node to subscribe to the correct topic. All nodes should be connected after that. You can then publish a message from the Pi and view it on your Fred instance. Let's do that now. And now, when we click on the inject node on the Raspberry Pi, it appears in the Fred instance in the debug window. As mentioned earlier, you can view all public topics in our Topics Gallery section. We have added some public data feed topics for all users to test with. These public topics have the prefix of STS in the topic names. You can search uppercase STS to see all these public topics. You can click on one of these topics to preview the data object on this topic. These are the main features of the SenseTechnic MQTT service. Now you can see how easy it is to access a cloud MQTT server and how much you can do with it. If you need more information, you can also find documentation in the links and resources section to read the documentation on Fred and the SenseTechnic MQTT service.